Good afternoon. Welcome back to the next episode of Riding with Dirt Lad. Been a couple of weeks since the last video. Time for an update. What's going on in the old Dirt Lad life? Well, let's start with the most recent and work our way backwards. I'm currently about 50 kilometers south of Edmonton, Alberta, at a resort community called Pigeon Lake. Dirtdaughter and I, Dirtdaughter the younger, decided to jump on the bike, go grab a cheeseburger, which we did, and then it was like, hey, why don't we run to the village of Pigeon Lake and grab an ice cream cone. So not only am I Dirt Lad, I'm also Dirt Dad. So of course you're going to buy your children an ice cream cone when they ask nice. Rode all the way out here. Ice cream store is closed. Filled up with gas. Bought an ice cream sandwich at the gas station. Still a wonderful night with Dirtdaughter. Dirtdaughter the younger. This is Dirtdaughter's third ride on a bike with me. First one just down to the hardware store. The second one, I think you saw some of the video clips from it. It was a ride for prostate cancer fundraiser back in June. And then this is tonight. Every Tuesday in a community called Nisku, where it's between Edmonton and Leduc, there is a restaurant, bar, VLT lounge, Video Lottery Terminal Lounge, called Blackjacks Roadhouse. What the heck? Link in the description. And from May until the end of the riding season, every Tuesday they have bike night. And they usually have, $6 cheeseburgers. Of course, you can go into their pub and have a beer. Quite often they'll have a poker run for charity and a 50-50 draw for charity. So all in all, pretty nice reason to get out on the bike. As I think I highlighted before, we've just had so much rain that riding has been quite a bit less frequent than it was last summer. So there you go, that's today. Now let's talk about the last few days. Last week, another friend of ours was vacationing at a family home in beautiful British Columbia. And we're required by law to call it beautiful British Columbia. That's their motto. Anyway, he did a big bike tour through part of the interior, I think, on his 2003 Honda Valkyrie. Posted some photos on Instagram, to which Dirt Wife responded and said, "Ooh, Dirt Lad would be jealous." And our friend responded something, to the effect of, "Well, hey, we got to get together and him and I got to do a ride." And then, surprise, surprise, Dirt Wife commented and said, "Oh yeah, Dirt Lad is going to be buying a bigger bike this fall." And I looked at that comment and went, that sounds like permission. For everybody out there who is in a loving relationship with your spouse, you want to run all major decisions by them, which is the correct thing to do, the mature and responsible and respectful thing to do. when they flat out give you permission to do something that you want to do anyway, you jump on that like ugly on a donkey. Not that all donkeys are ugly. So I sort of put it out there to Dirt Wife. Like, hey, well, since that's permission, maybe I'll start to take a look around. And I did. And the next thing I know, she's going on Facebook Marketplace, looking at bikes and sending me links and telling me which ones she likes and asking me what I like. She came across a couple. I went for a ride, a test drive on, we'll call it the dream bike, if you will. There was a gentleman who was selling a 2008 Suzuki M109R, the Suzuki Muscle Cruiser. And my only thing to say about that is, holy crap, 110 kilometers an hour in third gear. Or for my friends in the United States, oh my God, 75 miles an hour in third gear. Give or take, 70 to 75. Beautiful bike, didn't really fit me well. Price was right, didn't really fit me well. Really, really fast, very definitely a younger person's bike. Another bike I went for a test ride on was a 2004, I believe. I want to say V-Star 1300 Yamaha. Could have been 1100, 1300, somewhere in there. Again, beautiful bike. Not a lot of kilometers on it. I think it had something like 24,000. It was a good bike, lots of power, but it just, there was, when you're sitting on something and you go like, I wish that I could get like an extra inch of legroom. And I know that you can adjust all of that stuff with highway pegs and, some aftermarket stuff, but it wasn't something I wanted to take advantage of, so I let that one go. But Dirt Wife, she had also sent me a 2015 Yamaha Roadstar Silverado S. So, 4 years old. And it had 2,500 kilometers on it. Like, that's insane. That's like 800 kilometers a year. That's like, oh, quick, do the math. Less than 500 miles a year. I mean, I know our riding season is short, but golly gee willikers, Batman. Went and took a look at it. Bike was located in our city. Went down to a neighborhood I wasn't really familiar with. Nice guy. Let me take it for a road test. But I didn't really know my way around the neighborhood, and I was trying to head for a freeway to open her up. Turned the wrong way. Ended up really going through some local collector roads and things. Never got it out of third gear. And I'm like, I don't care. I love this bike. This is the bike for me. That was on Saturday. Drove the bike back to his house, got off, wandered over to my boulevard, and I'm like, sorry guy, for the price you're asking, I would have to sell my boulevard first before I could afford this. And, you know, he came back and said, well, you know, I'll knock $750 off of it. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. Shook his hand. That was Saturday. Yesterday was Monday. Picked up the bike Monday after work. Got it all insured. Everything that a person is supposed to do. And yeah, so that's why Dirt Daughter and I are sort of taking a midweek little tour. Oh, look, an airplane. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a beautiful night for flying. Or maybe not. Maybe it's really windy up there and he's gonna fall out of the sky. But I'm feeling fairly safe down here. So yeah, a couple of things about the Roadstar versus the Boulevard. Boulevard had an 800cc engine, 805. Beautiful bike, loved it. Great in the city. Would do the highway, but I always felt on the highway that I was just, you know, reaching the top end, and there wasn't much left to give. So what I mean by that is you could be doing the speed limit, 100 kilometers an hour, 110 kilometers an hour on a major road. And up here in Canada, you know, we always got to go 8 kilometers an hour over the speed limit. Don't ask me why. But so sitting at between 110 and 120 kilometers an hour, a second, it always felt that like that's all the bike had to give. Like, you know, I could pass people, you know, on a 2-lane highway or something, you know, get it up to 130 or even the occasional 140. But it just like was done at the 120 kilometer an hour range, which is fine. For 95% of my driving, that wasn't an issue. This thing has a 1700cc V-twin engine, and it's like it just cruises. More power. Like right now, I'm doing 110 kilometers an hour. Allegedly. I need to say that this video is only for the purposes of my lawyer. Anyway. And it's like I'm in 4th gear. And there is lots of throttle left. So, that feels good about it. It's a little bit heavier than the Boulevard. Obviously, engine's bigger. But it handles just the same. Like, I don't feel any sort of hesitancy or worry, you know, going in on-ramps and off-ramps and, you know, other places where you got a little bit of a corner or a little bit of a lean. So, yeah. I'm liking it. So, for anybody who's interested, I have a 2017 Suzuki Boulevard C50T for sale, link in the description. I know it's an awkward time of year to try to be selling a motorcycle. It is August 13th. Generally speaking, you know, we're going to start to see cooler nights as we're heading into September. Probably see our first frost sometime in October, so a lot of people tend to, you know, park their motorcycles end of September, beginning of October. So not a lot of people are looking at saying, hey, I want a bike for the rest of the summer. They might be starting to think, you know, I'll get a bike next year. Which is understandable. So yeah, there we go. And new to me, Yamaha Roadstar Silverado S in gray metallic. Anyway, that's this episode of Riding with Dirt Lad, and Dirt Daughter in this case. This weekend will be the annual Reynolds Museum Ride to Reynolds. It's in Wetaskiwin, Alberta. And basically they've set themselves up. It's a wonderful museum. Alberta's history, lots of equipment, farm machinery, things that sort of come from the history of our province. And people will come down from Edmonton, obviously. It's only a 45-minute ride. A lot of people will come up from Red Deer and Calgary. A lot of the dealerships, you know, Harleys and stuff, they'll have group rides that they've arranged coming out of their businesses. I believe there's some sort of Harley rally this weekend as well. So they're going to be making this a stop. Should be a good time. I'm going to go because they do sell a cheeseburger. And yeah, probably have another episode ready for upload after that. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, and if you're Dirt Daughter, subscribing to the channel. Click on that subscribe button. I don't know why people say that. It's not like I'm going to monetize this channel. If YouTube ever sends me a check for a penny, I'm going to jump up and down. But yeah, be safe. Be kind to one another. And all in all, have fun.